How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. You are Lieutenant Cox, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Well, crazy how that works. Do you want to just talk right here, or
Yeah,
you want to
it'll
step
be
in?
fine.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
Okay. Well, I was wondering, have we made any progress on getting those charges dropped that are against me, or has there been any looking into the IC code today?
I'm aware of the IC code. I don't
Okay.
need to look at it.
Okay. And so you're aware of the exception here. I have the IC code here.
Sure.
And here we are. It says subsection A, which states possession of a police radio, do not apply to. And so here we are in subsection 7, says who is regularly engaged in news gathering activities. That's what I do. So, and then subsection 10, it says a person who possesses or uses a police radio during the normal course of the person's lawful business, which would basically mean that as long as I'm conducting my lawful business, I am allowed to have a police radio. So is there any comment on that, or are the charges still going to go forward? Because I'll tell you, before you answer, what's going to happen is if I have to hire a lawyer, I'm going to hire 2 lawyers, one from the ACLU, to press charges for this stuff. Okay, so is the charges are going forward? I'm going to have to...
I can't stop the charges.
Okay.
And if you're going to read the statute, you need to read the whole thing. Okay.
Well, that is the whole
Now,
IC code.
You picked out bits and pieces of it. If
Right.
you read the whole
That
statute,
apply to me.
you have...
Okay, go on. So what part makes those
I'm
exceptions?
just telling you, read the
Okay.
whole statute before you think you're exempt.
Okay, well, I did. Those are the...
Yeah.
It says the subsection 8 does not
Is that
does
right?
not apply to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you
I'm
can't
gonna-
have anything to do with the charges, or that's
A
okay.
judge or a prosecutor must dismiss those charges. Once they're filed, I have nothing to do with that.
Okay. So last time I talked to you, they weren't filed though. So are
It
they
was
filed now?
It was filed the night.
Okay.
They're
The same
electronically
night.
filed.
Okay.
So it is filed.
All right. So, and then I also actually need to get, while I'm here, the name and badge number of one of the guys that's up on that wall so I can point to him. See, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over on the second row down. Could you identify that man for me?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you know his name off the top of your head?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
He's not here. So
That's fine. I don't need to talk to him.
I know who he is. What is the problem? What's the issue? That's why we're here, right?
Oh yeah, the problem is because I need to get complaint forms to file a complaint on him, and then I know Officer Woodruff, right? So I can file a complaint on him because I know his name and badge number, and all the other officers involved, I got their name and badge numbers, but that particular officer walked away before I could get his. So is there any way I could get his name and badge number today?
I would have to look at it. I don't know who you're talking about. I'd have to look at the incident.
Well, could you identify that man for me?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I would have to look at it. I don't know who you're talking about. I'd have to look at the incident. I don't know who you're talking about. So,
Well,
is your phone
it's
number
that
still
guy.
812-230-2764?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So can you?
And are you still at Berg?
Why does that matter?
Because if you're going to fill out a complaint form, I got to have your information.
Right, I know. So I can fill out the complaint form. I'll give you guys a way to contact me. I don't give out my residential address though, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I will if I can get the
The latest one
complaint
I
form.
have is like 54.
Okay.
Code. Is that correct?
As I said, I don't give out my residential address. I just don't. You know, I've heard reports about people filing complaints and then getting their tires slashed the next day. So I don't put myself in that situation where that's a possibility for me. So, but I did have a few other questions to ask you since we've already cleared up that this isn't a you thing that you can get the charges drawn back. So I understand that. So another question is, do you guys detain people without RAS, reasonable articulable suspicion? Is that common practice for you guys?
What's the point? What are you asking?
Well, I was asking, maybe you didn't hear me. I asked,
I
do you
heard
got, okay. I'm just going to repeat the question. Do you guys normally detain people without reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime? Is that the practice?
If you're asking about the incident the other night when you walked up and refused to obey a lawful order.
Why?
Stay right there.
All right, sir, shut up.
Stay right there.
Shut
Don't
up
move.
and don't approach me. Get away and do your...
And you were told to stay back and you kept approaching them? Is that what you're referring to?
I'm just asking a question. I mean, we can decide.
I don't know the answer to that.
He's the lieutenant, and he doesn't know if they detain people without reasonable articulable suspicion. This guy is pathetic.
Okay. Okay. So, again, and then that leads into another question, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
What constitutes a lawful order for the state police here in Indiana?
Are you going to file a complaint? Is that what you're here?
Yeah, I just said, I'm with the media, so I wanted to get a few questions answered. So.
You are. Okay. So, are you at 2 or are you still at...
And
we need to contact you.
I can give you an address. I can give you an email address or a phone number. I can get contacted on both of those.
812-230-2764. Is that correct?
Yes, and I am by that phone 24/7.
Okay.
I get calls, reports all the time. So if you call me, I'll be right there. I can give you an email address. That would be an address that you can find me at.
Email. I don't need that.
Okay,
So
so
you're not going to file a complaint. You're going to submit a complaint. Is that correct?
no, I need the complaint form. I mean, you guys have complaint forms on paper here. If not, you can take the complaint, but I like to fill out the complaint so that I know what's written on it, and then I like to take pictures for my own documents of it. I don't do the whole online thing. I don't really do the computers. I just know how to work phones.
The only thing, I can go in and try to pull it up because it's the form that I would type out after I gather your information. That's why it's verifying that your address and phone number and everything was correct.
Okay.
So, because you need to be, you'll have to be contacted later.
Yeah, I'll make sure that the phone number and address that you guys can contact me at is there on the complaint form.
Okay. Let me go see if I can print one off. And
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're gonna stop this film real quick and continue it when they come back. I'm gonna ask them about one, what constitutes lawful order, and who that gentleman is up there. Let's see if we can. Nah, it's hard to focus in on. It's the seventh over from the left on the second row from the top. So the second row down, seventh picture over. That officer is the fat officer who was being extremely rude whilst taking or dealing with that.
Sergeant brings up a valid point. We don't have like a literal complaint form. What I have is a form that I fill out when I receive a complaint. So if you want to fill it out on a piece of paper, whatever your complaint is, and mail it to us or whatever you want to do, you can do that. And then we'll proceed from there. If you don't want me to take the statement and initiate the complaint.
I mean, you can take the statement. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I figured it'd be easier for you guys to just hand me a piece of paper. But if that's what, if that's the process, we'll do that then.
I could give you a voluntary statement, I suppose, if you want.
This little guy in the back is hilarious. He's like his legal counsel.
To do it that way, but the way it's usually done is I generate the complaint, I take your statement,
Okay.
I generate it, and then it proceeds from there.
Okay, well that sounds good. So
what is the nature? What's the nature of your complaint?
So the nature of the complaint is that I was battered by your officers, illegally detained, and illegally searched, and my friend was illegally searched. What's your name and badge number, sir?
Sergeant Nickerson,
Nickerson?
5777.
Thank you.
Can I
So
tell you something?
Yeah, if your friend wants to file a complaint, he'll do that. I'll just take your complaint. So hold on one second.
At this point, the sergeant has to, quote, tell him something. He really is his legal counsel. It's crazy. But this is how these guys operate. Anything they can say to each other, they should be able to say in front of the public.
legal counsel.
Okay, so your complaint is you were battered by the officers, illegally detained and illegally searched.
Right, and I was also, if you could put on there, given unlawful orders, because obviously for an order to be lawful, there's got to be a law behind it. You can't just say stop right there and then it'd be a lawful order. There's no law saying that if a police officer says you better stop, that I gotta stop. You know what I mean? There's no law backing that, so that would be what we categorize as an unlawful order. And then also, I need that guy's name, seventh picture from the left, second row from the top.
If he was here, you could ask him for his name and badge number. Did you ask it?
You're the lieutenant. You said you know him.
I know him. Sure.
Okay, so
if we're looking at it correctly, but I know who it is, and that's going to be part of this.
right, I'm with the media. He's a public servant. I like to let the public.
Yeah.
I like to let them know who their public servants are and when they're doing stuff wrong.
Okay.
I think it's only right. I mean, we pay for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So
Whatever.
Yes, he really did just say whatever. This shows that he has complete contempt for the people who pay his paychecks and the people he serves.
Whatever.
so
Do you have any
what's his
more
name?
complaint?
And
this is in relation to what incident are you talking about? Because you've been to like stirring at 5 different departments.
Stirring?
And 5 different things.
What do you mean stirring?
You filing complaints at like 5 different agencies. I don't want to make sure this is
Right.
the one involving my people.
Okay. I was just making sure that you weren't being impartial towards what I do. You know, I just exercise the First Amendment right,
I'm
man.
aware of what you do.
Okay.
I'm not impartial to anything
Okay.
you do. I want to know, are you done with, is this what you have?
Yeah, and this
Because
is
I will look
this is in
into this.
regard to the complaint, or this is in regard to the incident in which I got a citation for legally possessing a police radio or a police scanner. And yeah. Yep. And I was wondering,
Okay.
you know the policy of the department, right? You guys know the policy.
I hope so, yes.
So is it your guys' policy to identify?
It is. When you're in the presence of an officer, you can ask him for his name and badge number. He's not here. When you should
When
ask
will
him
he
that
be
night.
here?
He doesn't come here and report here. He
Okay.
works the road.
Okay. So could you have him call me then, or do I have to go find him?
There's no reason to have him call you. That's nothing but YouTube press for you. I'm not going to have him call you.
Okay. Well, it does seem like you're biased here. It doesn't seem like you're too appreciative of what I do,
Which is
report what police do to the public. Yeah.
Okay. That's the nature of your complaint, correct?
Yes. And then I'd also like to make a request. If you guys could, you in particular,
Mm-hmm.
if you do feel some type of way about what I do, you can look at my YouTube page. There is a video called Officer Doan, Police Do Their Job the Right Way.
Mm-hmm.
That's proof that I upload all interactions with police, not just ones where they batter people.
I see. I won't be visiting that. So
Okay.
That's
Okay. Well, that's good. I just want you to understand that, you seem like you're almost a bit annoyed or something about what I'm doing here. So,
No, not about what you're doing here. You have every right to do this.
okay.
But when you follow my troopers around and get out and harass them while they're on a traffic stop,
You can't harass public
that
servants.
is beyond. And see, that's where we are with this. Okay, that's beyond doing this. This you have every right, and I'm going to take care of this. I will.
Do I not have the right to follow your, just so I don't get in trouble anymore?
You interfere with one of my troopers and get their attention distracted and get them hurt or something. What do you think? Do you think that's okay?
Well, okay, so I'll answer the
Are you
question.
done with your complaint?
Is
I'm
that-
not your next highlight
Okay.
video reel?
Well, if I'm
Okay?
driving on the side of the road and I see a hot lady on the side of the road and I decide to swerve because I'm looking at her, that's not her fault for me taking my attention off of it. If your officers can't keep their attention on what they're doing just because there's a camera around, that's not my fault. Do you see what I'm saying? That's their fault. They've taken their attention off of it of their own free will. I didn't make them. So also, I don't know if you like the Constitution that's supposed to protect our freedoms or if you're just a tyrant yourself, but our constitutional right is to record in public. All right, the freedom of the press shall not be infringed. It's in the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights. It applies to all state governments as well, according to the 14th Amendment. So if you guys could just respect that and keep our freedoms upheld, we'd all really appreciate that. All right. So that's all that I have to say. You probably won't go on YouTube, even though it's quite obvious that you guys don't like what we do. But that's fine. So you two have a good day, and thank you for taking the complaint. I'll call you soon enough, maybe 2 weeks or so, to check up on what's
Okay,
going
for
on.
that report, though, I do need to confirm your phone number is at 812-230-2764.
That is correct.
And it does ask for an address, so is it or is
It is neither. I do not give out my address. It's just it's just something I don't do, man. I mean, I don't know who that information is going to go to. Someone can call me on my phone, but I can't have someone showing up at my house. You know what I mean? That's like not really my thing. So if you want an email address, that is an address. It's a valid address, and you guys can reach me on it at any
they
point
can
in
just
time.
contact you by phone and
Okay, yes.
because they will probably mail an end result of this investigation to you. So
Okay.
they will probably contact you on the phone, and then you can deal with it that way.
Right, and whoever's sending it to me, they'll know they can send it in a PDF form via Gmail. All right, so you two have a good day, all right?
Sure.
Yep.